Let me do that. Let's do that real quick. Drag and drop dev is back online. Hell yeah, I'm back online. I'm so back. To drag and drop. At least I'm not prompting and dragging and dropping. Prompting and pooping. Pooping and prompting. Prompting and... I'll think of something later. Prompting and waiting. No, that's not... What rhymes with prompting? Prompting and rotting? Prompting and slopping. No, it needs to be a word with the letter P. Prompting and popping. Muhammad. Anyways, hey. AI viewers in my balls. How is it that bots are still getting in here? How are they figuring it out? Anyways. Procrastiprompting. I saw a stream yesterday that randomly popped in my YouTube. The guy had like 3 windows open, all prompting AI, and then in the corner was like a focus window for like focusing music. But then there was an animation that was like an AI animation playing that was so distracting on the screen 24/7. And then I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Doing? I remember you had that one chatter losing his mind calling you a fake game dev because you were dragging and dropping blueprint nodes. I don't remember if it was like them being ironic or not ironic. Guys, also I realized the built lighting is fucking up the train. This is a problem. Not ironic, it was funny. Dude was mad for no reason. We've had a few individuals come in, but man, I don't remember any of them. They're like a fart in the wind, you know what I mean? They be like a fart in the wind. I do, it was the highlight of my day. Now we have a really funny emote that's just in all caps game dev. Hell yeah. And Twiggy. We be dragging and dropping. I be dragging and dropping. Anyways, yeah, I don't really care too much about fixing the lighting in this room right now. Well, I do, but I also don't at the same time. Wait. It's not as bad looking anymore. Look, this is what it looked like. And now it's like, okay, what happened? That new Deadlock update has me in a chokehold. I haven't played yet. I'm gonna be honest, I've just been chilling on an old school RuneScape, man. But I did see the matchmaking update. Some good changes. Some good changes. I like the fact that you can maybe swap character in the case of absolute atrocity. Check the Discord. What do you think of the new attack I've added? Oh. Wait, can you rocket jump on the enemy? Oh my god. Game of the year. Biden blast. Hell yeah. We have a cinema emote? Since when did we have a cinema emote? Wait, did we? I don't remember we had that. Fishing level, 63. 64. Please get tested for short-term memory loss. I need to game dev harder. Yes. Great, there's someone doing fucking construction again. Oh, kill me. Where is it coming from? Why is the lighting okay now? None of this makes sense. Look at this shit. And then suddenly, it's fine. What the hell? What the hell is going on? All right, anyways, last few streams, we worked on this cool place. It's cool. It's a station. It's missing some, like, I feel like it's missing some stuff, but don't worry, we'll get there. We'll get there, okay? Don't worry, we'll get there. But it has a cool, somewhat mysterious feeling to it. It does feel a little old-fashioned. Like, it's got an old-fashioned feel to it, while also not. You guys know what I mean? Yeah. Where do you get the motivation while developing after a certain point? Making stuff feels like absolute torture to me. I don't know, man. I gotta pay the bills, I guess. I don't know. I think some of it comes into like rewiring how you approach certain things. Like, why does it feel like it's torture? Is it because it's something that's so new to you that it's a constant like process of learning things, and it's like terrifying? I think that's a really good question to ask, because I came across that issue where level design was absolutely torturous to me, and I just like did not want to even work because it was something I just didn't know enough about. I felt like I wasn't doing a good enough job. So it's like, that's something to think about, right? Is like, what is it that's causing the thing that you're going through to be torturous? Is it the tool that you're using that's maybe making it torturous? Is it a new part of development that you feel like you haven't tapped enough into, and it just a lot of to learn and very intimidating? I don't know. Those are questions I ask. I love level design. Everything else I hate. Level design, I am okay with it a little bit more. It's not my most beloved things ever, but I'm okay with it. Balance the two attacks so the player feels inclined to switch. The rapid attack is high fall off and damage a smaller projectile. What kind of enemies are you planning for the game, Twiggy? Do you know what kind of enemies? Because that could dictate what kind of attack type the player might want to use. That's why I got into UE, to do its level design workflow. Shrill, have you tried out Scythe? Have you tried out Scythe? I just combined your name with with a word. I think I have a problem. No, you should give it a shot. You might like it if you're into level design and stuff. It's pretty cool. A Scythe editor. It's sick. It's awesome. It's very cool. You could do trim sheets in it. The new update I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, the new update I'm really looking forward to. Because actually no, I just yesterday updated my version. Apparently now it has a texturing update. I'm actually very curious about that now. There's apparently like a whole new menu. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Wait, what the fuck? You could just drag it? Oh, dude. Oh, you can use existing, which reverts it back to where it was. Wait. Wait, the developer is cooking. He's actually cooking. He's so good. How do I apply this? Where's the button to... Oh, accept. So now the bricks end at the top. End at the bottom. Oh. Whoa! 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 Yo, Vib, how's it going? This changes everything. Make that the YouTube title. Crim versus opening a modeling software. Listen, and you know what's really funny, Eris? It's not a situation where it's like I don't know how to use the modeling software. It's more like I just fucking I'm lazy, and I hate the import export process. Even though I've made it as good as it could be. Dude, new texturing tool just dropped. It's awesome. I think that yeah, I think we got to rebuild the lighting, but that's okay. Okay, what's on the docket for today? But yeah, Scythe editor, very cool. Yeah. What you're working on? It's a co-op survival horror friend slap type of game where all the players are basically train operators and they have to keep the train running while surviving from monsters and environmental hazards. Today, though, what we're working on is... I actually don't know. I actually have no idea what we're working on today. Even I want an elevator pitch mugged up like that. Whatever will get us closer to a playtest. Yes. Playtest, you say? Dude, I don't even know what would get us closer to a playtest. Right now, it's like figuring out the fun. Let's do a little bit of playtesting. Let's do a little bit of playtesting. Let's get in here. Let's get in the thick of it. Fix the gameplay loop. Fun time is over. I don't know how to fix it. That's the problem. I genuinely don't know how to fix it. Oh yeah, the Steam page is for my other game. So apologies for the confusion. Yeah, the Steam page is still trying to get that all going. You have other games? Yeah, I do. I do have other games. We do, it's true. Nearly walked into a landmine. What is the thing that would help make this fun? Is it the fact that I've been playtesting so much that I know the levels? Maybe we need some element of random generation. Like, the items are randomly generated, kind of. But is it the fact that I know what the levels look like? And their structures? That the missing piece of the puzzle? I don't know. You know what's better than one pocket watch? Two pocket watches. You put one in each pocket. You never know. One hand might be busy, so you gotta pull out the other hand. We also need to do a bunch of like effect-based stuff whenever you see a monster. And then of course sound design. And then of course the monsters need to be able to take damage. Dev blindness is the worst. Uh-oh. Am I working on this stuff as a part of a team or solo? I guess we're technically a small team right now. My partner's been doing a lot of modeling, like modeling the items and whatnot. We have a ton of items. I wish I could use the index value to spawn my item sometimes. You know what? Actually, I might do that real quick. Make it so we can spawn item with an index. Chat is part of the team. Team. I need to go to the game state, which is where we have the cheat codes. And I'd like to make it so spawn item can have a number. Numerical? How do I check if the name is numerical? Nice models, thank you. It's getting there. I think some of the models are a little bit like, it still feels a little blockouty, which it is technically. A lot of stuff is still kind of blockout, but yeah. Cheat spawn item. Name to string. Well, I know. I guess we have to turn it to string and then check if it's numeric. This is about to look real ugly. That's okay. Sometimes you do what you do what you can. How do you feel about Unreal moving on to Verse and deprecating blueprints? I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I don't really like it too much. But converts a string to an integer value. Does it convert to an integer value or is it an integer? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see when UE6 comes out. You know what I mean? I don't really have any opinions on that. I don't like what they're doing, but it's not even on the basis of them just deprecating blueprints. Them also changing the entire gameplay framework and all of that is, it's a lot. which I'm not ready for. And that's okay. I'm using UE5, and I can keep using UE5. So, is actor blueprints getting deprecated? Technically, yes. Actors would get deprecated. In fact, like a lot of the gameplay framework, from what we've seen, is going to be deprecated entirely. Like, it's going to be changed. So, it's not even like, oh, it's fine, I'll just use C++. You're going to have to learn all of the new shit that they're going to be doing with the gameplay framework. Because for all I know, I don't know if they're going to keep using characters and controllers and all this other stuff, because supposedly all of the object stuff is going to be going into a completely different kind of system. So if I do 0, it should spawn a fire extinguisher. If I do 1, okay. How many items do we have? 39? Holy shit. Is there enough item variety? How many items do you guys think a Friend Swap game should have? Will this come to PlayStation? I don't know. I don't know. Was the character carrying all that stuff along? Yeah. In his special pocket. In the special pocket. Oh, Suit for Hire coming to PlayStation? I'm not sure yet. I haven't done any of the process stuff with Sony yet in terms of distribution and whatnot, or publishing on Sony. I've done some of the process for Xbox, but yeah, I need to get some of that stuff done for PlayStation as well. All right. My problem is if we add more items to the item pool, that means there's less chance for usable items being in the pool. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like the shovel or the sledgehammer or the crowbar or the thingy that I can't think of. What is it called again? Bolt cutters. I guess what we could do is we can make that a part of its own like special group. And then maybe they have a certain percent, they have their own roll chance of spawning a specific usable item. Yeah, we do need to do a weighting system for items for sure. I just started learning blueprints 5 to 6 months back. I wouldn't doom and gloom about the whole UE6 thing, because that's years away, and 2, you can still keep using UE5. I'm still using UE5.6. You know? Uh-oh, the brick isn't aligned with the other brick. Whatever, who cares? Okay. Let's see what we're going to do today. Yeah, the gameplay loop's still a little lacking. That's okay. I wonder if it's, like, I know some, they're kind of special cars, but not. Like, the office car isn't really special. The rookie. Do I have any experience using MarketBot menu/UI stuff? The only thing that I would say is auto settings, which had its like a template thing that you could work off of. But no. I did make a marketplace asset for UI, although I wouldn't recommend buying it because I haven't upkept it at all. The old people will remember the minimalist interface package. Oh wow, it doesn't even appear on Google anymore. This bad boy. Yeah, thanks. I'll check it out. No, don't check this out. Oh my god. I should probably take this down because I just don't really care much for it anymore. First Crimson looks so cursed with what? First in there? I got this other asset, Runner's Paradise. I haven't been making assets. And to be honest, I don't know if I care much for it right now. I'm just in make video game mode. Add a fully playable version of Suit for Hire for the office computer? Okay, slow down. Okay, slow down. Okay, slow down. Getting a little crazy there. Slow down. Yeah, I wonder if it's the fact that I know how every car is structured. So I like the mystery aspect is kind of gone. Maybe that's my problem. I don't even know how I could randomly generate these areas. I legitimately don't know. Just make 3 to 4 variants. Like, we could make variants, but I feel like I don't know if that solves the problem. Like, it helps, I think. It helps a little bit. Man, if only I was working on a game that was like a dungeon. Then I could just use like wave function collapse to like generate dungeons. It'd be a lot easier than a train. Your generators what makes repo replayable? I think it helps for sure. What's actually funny about repo is I think they're all predefined rooms. They just piece them together. Similar to Lethal Company, it's all predefined, pre-modeled tile pieces. Yeah, for sure, Scotty. I think this room, we have to just do something with these rooms. I'm still confused about how what wave function collapse works, even after watching a couple of videos. There was a video I recently watched that I think explained it really well. I literally randomly came across it. I don't even know where it is anymore. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. I made procedural dungeons that don't suck. Did I watch this on stream? I don't remember if I watched this on stream or not. This is probably the best video you could watch that explains wave function collapse.
These are some dungeons for my upcoming game.
Diff.
They were not hand-placed. Rather, they were generated with a simple algorithm called wave function collapse, which is a lot more simple than it sounds. Here's how it works. Create some tiles. I pre-rendered them in 4 rotations with Blender, and label their sockets. For example, floor, wall, canal. This lets the algorithm know which tiles can and can't connect to each other. Now, consider this 4x4 grid. With 0 constraints, we can place any of our 286 tiles in any place on the grid. However, adding wall and corner constraints cuts our tile options down dramatically. We start by placing a tile in the square with the smallest number of possible options, which is a corner square. We have collapsed the wave function for that square by picking one tile. We then find the next square with the smallest number of tile options and pick a legal tile. We continue doing this for every square until we have no more empty places. Notice how by the time we get to the end, some spaces have very few tile options, like this square that has one possible solution. It needs a canal join here and a wall here.
Basically, that's where the whole collapse part comes in. The instant you add one piece or rules, it collapses all of its surrounding tiles and removes its options, basically. React harder, please.
Bend right because it would dead end without an end cap, and so it must bend left and exit the wall. This highlights an important point regarding WFC, which is that if you want varied and interesting results, you need a lot of tiles.
Look at this motherfucker.
Realistic lighting, we
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. What's 16 times 22? Would you be able to make as many tiles as that guy? Here's the problem, though. How the fuck would I generate this, like, a wave function collapse on a train? Like, we can probably wave function collapse rooms inside of a car, but how big would those rooms even be? Why did I have to choose a damn train? Why did I have to choose a train for this shit,
we use
man?
normal maps, which we can bake from Blender.
He's at 286 at the start. Oh,
to give the dungeon more detail.
I see.
As you will have guessed, wave function collapse extends to arbitrary size and shape. I'm not quite ready to release a demo for the real game where you can play through these dungeons. However, you can test this algorithm yourself on this demo app I made, which shows you the dungeon style my upcoming game, Seeing Eyes,
Wishlist now
will use. In the web app, you can generate dungeons, place your own tiles. With autosolve enabled, this will change surrounding tiles to fit. Disable this if you want to break adjacency rules. You can also generate a...
I love the aggressive marketing.
Tiles. This is useful.
I fucking love the UI.
If you want a
Hell.
specific dungeon, you can control dungeon size and shape and adjust lighting and clutter. And Perturb, a feature I really like, which swaps any tile for a random tile and auto-solves the connecting pieces. If you love a dungeon overall but dislike one area, this feature is useful. Using this tool has been foundational in tweaking the algorithm.
The problem with this too is wave function collapse, I feel like also gets really boring at some point. I think any form of procedural generation falls off at a certain point. To an extent. Its biggest advantage, I guess, is, especially in a game like Train Rot, is you don't really know where you're going. So I think that's the main thing. Is you just don't really know where you're going. Even if it is samey, at least you don't know where you're going. Ratman is inside. Ratman. I think every game gets boring at some point. That's true. That's true. You speaking the truth. You speaking the truth. Hey, sit down. Stop speaking the truth. You need an AI map maker where it makes a new map every time. That's the problem. I'm on fucking trains. How am I supposed to do that? Here, you know what I hate? I hate nav meshes. Why are they so finicky? Unreal Engine. Next question. I be b-balling with my bros. Not basketballing. I mean beach balling. You also don't have the friend activities? Yeah, we need to do more of the intercommunication stuff within players. That's going to be very important, for sure. I've not been able to play test that very often. Why is it so damn dark in here? I can't see shit. There are plans for that, Gark, for sure. Also, my problem with the restaurant is it's so damn open. Stupid. And he's gone. Crib should just turn the library into the game with all the books on the floor, and you have to organize. Even the monsters start to help you because they don't like messes. Are the stairs broken again? Yeah. I don't even know why, but yeah. Damn, you kind of creepy, man. You kind of creepy. That was kind of creepy. You heard the noise. A neck fan? What the hell is a neck fan? Is it like a thing that you like put around your neck and then it cools you down? What the hell is that? If he's gonna be able to jump into the shelves, that'd be crazy. His jumping and leaping is kind of shit right now, but in the future I do want to make it so he actually like lands where you are. Like he's actually like jumping. Someone just activated a landmine. Oh, yeah. There's that. We need more maintenance task variety. Look at this, man. 3 just electrical problems, but there should be a lot more variety. To be fair, this car doesn't have any variety. I think it literally only has... Oh! Get the... Go away! Stop it, man. You're so annoying. I can't wait to make him, like, start drooling and... Well, I don't know. I don't know what kind of noise he'd make. It's something like that. When am I adding the Glock? The Glizzy? Anyways, I'm hiding under here. Imagine I can make him start crawling. That'd be fucking terrifying. Install the toilet in the library? Not a bad idea. We've been telling you this, Grim. That's all I have to say. Wait, we have double audio. I didn't even realize that. Because I had the desktop audio playing as well. Whoopsies. Whoopsie. Whoopsie poopsie. We have a gun now. We got the blunderbuss, but it doesn't do anything yet. And I can't wait to make it do things. And like, if the player's sprinting while they shoot it, they fucking fly away. They go ragdoll. It's like that one shot in Pirates of the Caribbean where that one guy shoots the big gun in that like little tunnel kind of scene area, and he flies away. You guys know which one I'm talking about? Yeah, it'll be like that. Did you check out Machine Party? No. Well, I saw it. You guys had Half-Life 1 Reverb by Mike. Who is Mike? Who's Mike? I don't remember anybody's names, man. I don't remember anybody's names, but I did see the game. I did see the game. How is it doing? Is it doing well? I also saw a Leafy Corner release. Where is oh, there's Machine Party. It's like a combination of small party games. I view it as just very dark. It's a dark Mario Party. It's like Saw and Mario Party. I've never seen Saw, and I don't think I ever will. I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with never seeing that fucked up movie. I'm good. They're so good? What do you mean? They're so fucked up. Do you need therapy? Okay. What are we working on today? I honestly kind of just want to work on stuff without... I know it's kind of bad to just ignore the gameplay loop, but I have a feeling it's going to turn out okay. I have a feeling it'll turn out okay. Now, I am wondering, like, how would we do if we were to do some level of random generation, right? How could we... I've never done random generation before. Deflating ball. No, we're not putting the deflating ball in the game. No. We're not putting the deflating ball in. No, no. See, like, even this, like, there's not that many tiles that we can play around with. Because the train isn't that big. Oh, man. Why did I have to make everything on a train? It's made my life so much harder. We could have just done a dungeon. We could have just been like all the other train games where you just use the train as a locomotive to go from dungeon to dungeon. And then the dungeon is where you randomly generate the dungeon. Ah! Ugh! Crap! What if you just lower the amount of special cars and add generic RNG interior cars? What would be the... What would be the generic RNG interior cars? Because I feel like the one with that's going to be the apartments would be a generic RNG car, right? Where is that? Where is it? Where is it? This one. I'm talking about this one. I feel like this is kind of a generic one. Watching this while I'm at a shitty retail job? Oh no. Hope it's a slow day. Speaking of dungeons, what is a danger dungeon? I don't know what that is. You're asking the wrong guy. I'm ignorant of literally everything. How am I supposed to know these things? Like, we have this room. Maybe some, like, RNG maze cars, if you could pull it off. My victory condition for rooms was proccing on the client as well. We getting pizza. Hey, how long have you been experiencing that bug? Yeah, I have no clue how we would randomize this stuff. I don't even know how we'd go about doing it. I'm trying to think. If we were to turn this into a grid, how would it be structured? Like this? But is this really enough in a train car to, like, matter? Like, or would it have to be in, like, in thirds? Maybe we do it in fourths, but then some of the areas could just be a connection point, like a hallway. So then that makes it feel a little bit more random. Like these places are just inaccessible. We can kind of treat it like a Lethal Company dungeon, but inside of a train. But then the big problem is we need a starting point and an end point. And then I guess these doors would want to probably have them start and end on the edges. Can I use verticality as well? We can. We can. How long have you been working on this project? Has it been a year? Like 7 months? You can only re-get the B-hop with scroll wheel. Should I make it so you can do it with space, like 0.2 seconds? I would definitely make it work with space, Twiggy, personally. Like, I used to play Counter-Strike with scroll wheel as my jump key. Most people aren't going to be doing that, I think. I don't think most people are going to be doing that. Man, why did I have to make this game on trains? I guess that's its unique factor in a way, right? Is the fact that it's like taking all of it taking place on a train, or not all of it, but a lot of it taking place on a train. I guess that's part of the appeal, is like it's just different, I guess. But I guess doing a dungeon that's randomly generated in a grid, I guess it's just easier in a way. So how should I go about doing this dungeon generation if I do that grid space system? Should it be like... Should we use wave function collapse? Add trains that roll up randomly with RNG car interiors. This way you're not limited to one straight train. Well, the idea with the train is to make it have goofy shapes as well. To kind of give it some goofy shapes, similar to how we've been doing that with certain cars, right? We had some cars that kind of stick out and stuff like that. I kind of just want to go even further with that and have like little pieces stick out a little bit. Stuff like that. Really make it kind of goofy. I was jazzed about wave function collapse last year. How are you going to test things? I felt it was too slow and it was a distraction. I don't know. We'll see. I have no clue how we're going to do it. I know there was a wave function collapse plugin, but I don't know how it works in Unreal. Or I don't know how it works in multiplayer, if at all. Grim, if you had to redo this game in a different engine, what engine would you choose and why? That's like... I don't know how to answer that. I guess Unity, because most FriendSlab games have been on Unity, and it seems like Unity might have a good infrastructure for that, but I'm not sure. I don't know. What are you thoughts? Height maps? What about height maps? So happy to see my favorite Unreal Engine developer live. Listen, stop with the AI generated messages, all right? I'm gonna explode. Is this missing a window? Because I don't see it. Oh no, it is there. It's really weird looking. Yeah, we could have like cars with some like randomly generated rooms. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do we structure that in a way that works? I use the Delaunay triangulation for always plus random placement of boxes in a grid. I don't know if that'll work with how small space you're working with. The Delaunay triangulation. I don't even know what that is. I never even heard of that before. Never even heard of that before. First I hear of it. This is the thing. It's such a small space. How do we generate stuff in such a small space and make it work? I don't know. I do feel like that is one of the missing pieces that's making this feel less fun. At least from a developer aspect, is like I go into every room knowing where everything is and how everything is structured. Now, of course, for a new player, they won't experience that at the very beginning. But I think it'll quickly become like that. Teleport the player into a different big place. We're gonna do that, but that'll be like a rare thing that happens. I don't want that to happen all the time. 'Cause then I feel like that's kind of cheap. Make it so if you fail or complete the game, just Alt F forces it uninstalls and refunds. Make it easy for the player. Automatic refund. You know, I love how we widened the train, but a part of me is like, what if we made it even wider? What if we made it even wider? What's the max size you'd want the dungeon card to be roughly? It's either going to be 2 cells or 2 or 3 cells width, and then I don't know however many length. Yeah, gameplay objects are kind of randomized, although not the tasks. The maintenance tasks are not randomized. Like, that could be good to also randomize as well if we can. Which, another thing to think about, we'd have to randomize those in those, like, RNG generated cars. Is it time to switch to a space-flying turtle shell? If you make it wider again, it'll only be it'll only last for a few weeks before you feel like widening it again. Be careful you're honest. Yeah, that's the thing. Because it already felt really good widening it the first time, and now we're back to the stage. So I think I think widening it isn't the problem. I think it's using the space wisely. Oh. Oh. The Harry Potter-esque train? Right, which is the, we used a specific terminology for that on the Trello. We called it a TARDIS effect car. The tardy effect car. That's a mine. Yeah, another thing is randomizing the locations of maintenance tasks would be great too. I think that would be a very beneficial thing. You get XP? Yeah. Yeah, we're leveling up. Agility, level up. Agility, level up. Agility, level up. Marks of Grace, randomly... All the old school RuneScape players. Oh my god! Any plans for particle effects? Probably a ton. We haven't done that many particle effects yet. No, the XP is just gonna be like... You get to roll for like cosmetics by the end of the match or whatever. That'll be kind of like the idea. It's honestly just like a little just thing just to see what it's like to... When you finish a task... Okay, why is that spawning in with that? Okay, so for those wondering, why am I thinking about the whole randomly generated dungeon thing? So the problem right now is the gameplay loop feels a bit, to me at least... Now, that being said, we haven't tested with a full group of players. But in its current state, it's not very fun. Multiple problems. I think one of them is that train cars don't randomly generate. Like, there is item generation that are random, sort of. But the cars themselves don't randomly generate. So I feel like when you walk into a car, you know exactly where you need to go. Because you've already been in that car before. 2, I don't think there's enough monster variation, so that'll be probably a big piece of the puzzle. And then 3, the maintenance tasks need to be a lot more impactful, I think. At least yesterday we did the whole shop item thing. So that's cool. We did that. That's out of the way. Maybe we just need more trains, more events that mess with the player. Fog fills the car and you can't see, etc. despite the gameplay. It's potentially that as well, right? Which is like the maintenance task kind of system. They need to maybe like provide more impact to the area, to the game. Did you work with internet on? I can't even write one script without getting my map hacked with internet on. What are you doing? Are you playing fucking Welcome to the Game on your computer? Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean? Should have a maintenance task that if ignored too long permanently makes a train car a death trap. Well, we will have some train cars that are like that. Like, one of them will literally blow up the entire train if you're not careful. The nuke car. Are you still thinking about modifiers that affect the train cars? Say you enter one and there's a gas leak that makes it difficult such daily to explore until you complete a specific attack. Yeah, that's the idea. So that's, again, the maintenance task system, right? So there's 3, I think there's 3 missing pieces. Yeah, see, like right here, things being more impactful, etc. It could also just be the lack of things to do. Maybe there needs to be more tasks that break. More monsters could be another problem. So again, that comes into the topic of maintenance tasks, which I think is one of the biggest missing pieces that I think could be a fun, very fun element of the game. What's the fun in the gameplay loop? That's the thing. We're trying to figure that out. Trying to figure that out. I think the fun part is running around, surviving from the monsters, which creates that level of tensity. Tensity. That's a new word. I made it now. And then of course the interactions with objects, and like when you repair stuff, there's like a lot of like you influencing the actual movement of the thing. Is there any cross-match progression? Maybe the XP thing? Oh, there will be the, whenever you finish the third shift, at least that's how I'm thinking of it in design, you unlock the next, like, difficulty. And that'll add, like, modifiers and stuff. I think so, Bill. I think it's one of those things that... I do think it's not a one-step fix. I think it's like across the board. As we do more stuff, it'll get to that point. And I think the thing that's great about this game is it has I think a really good structure for adding in content. You can add in different train cars. We can add in different stations. We can add in different biomes as you go through. We can add in different monsters. I think it's just on a basis of finding that little tweak that I think makes it all work. Or tweaks. Is there any difference for fun playing with other players? It could be fun solo. So playing with other players is fun-ish, but it's still very empty feeling. Like it's still very prototypey feeling. You know what I mean? Yeah, we need to do a proper playtest with like a group. Oh shit. Ooh. Wait, that's sick. Well, you guys don't hear the bells. Wait, hold on. The bells actually play when the thing hits the bell. Dude, hell yeah. You know, after playing with the sailing skill in Old School RuneScape, I was like, boat roguelite. Boat roguelite. You are on the shore, and you start out with some shitty boat, and then you start like attaching pieces to it, and you gotta like fight off pirates and other shit. I feel like that could be kind of fun. But then the problem is figuring out the water, the water physics. That I don't know how to do any of that. I've been trying to think of like a game that I could maybe make within a month, like a game concept that I could make in a month. One of the ideas was like a gladiator arena kind of thing, using our little sword kind of game that we were working on. But like downscoping it a shit ton, so it's just melee combat without any of the magic or anything like that. But yeah, I don't even know where I'd go with that. Okay, let's just get some work done. Let's just do stuff. You know what I mean? Let's just do stuff. I don't want to think too much about the gameplay loop. I know it's a problem. We'll figure it out as we go. I do kind of want to figure out like some sort of randomly generated car though. It's the programmer / system designer in me wants to just make a system for that and see how we could like get that to generate. Here's the problem with that, though. Not only would we have to generate the level instance for the train car itself that encompasses the entire area. Then we got to generate the actual interior of it. And I don't know how we're going to keep that replicated. I guess we could just use the stream seed that's generated and make sure everyone's consistent with that. Kind of, part of me is kind of curious now. I kind of want to try to fuck with something. I'm kind of curious now how to make like a sort of wave function collapse type of thing. For the cars, do you have any? Do you have only one way in and one way out of the train car? Any other exits, or could you tell? But some of the cars have side exits. In the future, I think we'll play around with more of the entrances and stuff, like where the entrance starts and whatnot. Because I'll just start simple by making variations of the current cars, so it's not all predictable. Yeah, that could be another thing. The only problem is like, yeah, we'd have to do quite a bit of like that would just mean entirely new levels. Basically, it would just mean duplicating the level and then making adjustments to it, which could be quite hefty. Also, someone mentioned these walls look pretty thin. I think they're okay-ish for now in terms of light bleeding. The main problem right now is more so we have a lot of lights in here that don't cast shadows. So that's more so the problem. What happens if you die in the game? Do you go back to the start? So the game is basically, you have to do 3 routes. So you start at station 0, and then you go on your first route, and then you go to the next station, another route, and then another route. If you die while in a route, it just teleports you immediately here. But then, of course, that means you might lose some progress that you made here. And you get feed or taxed. So you lose money. So you still continue, but you might lose a little bit of progress by doing that. So then that way it doesn't fully reset you back to the beginning. That being said, if you die by the final round and you didn't feed the engine, then you lose, basically. But yeah, my thought process is, what if we could design all of the every room as a level instance, so then that way it can have its own blueprints in it. But I'm worried that that might be abusing the level instance system. Definitely don't want to abuse the level instance system. Yeah, I think easiest thing right now is just creating variants. But I do remember seeing a is it the layer system? I think in make the train room layout procedure generate. Like, that's one of the ideas, but it's just about figuring out how do we do that. That's the part that kind of becomes a bit of a challenge. So I've learned Unreal has a limit of like 4K replicated objects. Maybe some cars are fixed and some other cars could be generated. That's, I think, what we would end up doing. I don't think all of them would be necessarily generated. Like, I'm sure I could maybe find a way of generating this one. I just don't know how we would do that. Because it's a bit of like chaotic kind of placement, right? For like the crates and whatnot. I remember there was a video I saw, someone generating item placements by fucking creating take the center point, you just blow up a bunch of items in a bunch of directions, and that's how it generates it. I thought I thought that was kind of funny. I think that was someone that was working with Prismatica, if I remember correctly. That's how they did item placements, is they just blew that shit up. We could blow up a bunch of crates. Okay, if you were to have a wave function collapse, but you need to 100% allow the player to go from point A to point B, how do you go about doing that? How do you create that? That's something I've never understood with random generation, is how do you define rules? Like there needs to be a pathway from point A to point B. How do you even, do you generate the pathway first and then generate the corresponding rooms beside each of those areas? You could do A star. God, I still got to figure out how A star even works. Using a wave function collapse? Make 10 room archetypes and then draw a line. But like, how do you determine that? Drawing the line or whatnot, how do you determine that? Could be a way for sure, generate the path and then fill the negative spaces with modules. I don't know how to do that. Because with a system like Lethal Company, it's pretty straightforward, right? Because it's essentially like you just start from the very beginning, you create paths that split off, and that's perfect because all of the paths are already connected to the beginning point. And then yeah. With this though, build the generated room first, then destroy all the blocks to make a solution work. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting one, is creating some sort of ruling that requires a point A to point B without breaking it entirely. I'm like trying to wrap my head around it. How would you go about even, like, let's say we did split this in thirds. Right? That way there's a little bit more interesting stuff that could happen here. And then we have a bunch of little small rooms. We make these out of squares, ideally. That would make our life a lot easier, everything being just a square. And then we can kind of randomize the shapes within these pieces. If you needed to go from point A, let's make this a different color real quick. And it needs to find a pathway that guarantees access from point A to point B. Let's say that the other doorway is right here. How the hell do you generate that? Maybe you specify specific points. And then some of these points could be like T-shapes. And then this could, in theory, go into a different room. Like, I'm trying to... I've never done anything like this, so I'm curious. Like, I guess this could be a T shape that then allows you to go into a different room, and then maybe that ends up connecting to a different area. And then maybe this is also a T shape, so then these two could connect together. And then this could be something, and this is a room. How would you define that? You could place obstacles randomly and then do A star and iterate until it finds a seed where A star gets solved. The problem is then we get into a realm where, like, I guess that's what A star and wave function collapse is at the end of the day, is you're just minusing out all the options that aren't valid, I guess. Wave function collapse is a mess. I don't know how else we would generate this. I don't know how else we would generate it. Like, the optimal boring way of doing it would be, but that's boring then. Every path being connected, so it's like this could go here and then there and then they could go here and then, you know what I mean? Like that, I feel like that'd be... Just place them manually? That would probably be stage one. We just make some tile pieces, place them manually, just to kind of get an idea of what these places would even look like before even getting into the whole generative thing, and then seeing if it even works to begin with, and then going from there. Right? I think that could be stage one. What would be the theme of these rooms, though? Could it just be literally anything? Like, what would be the theme of those rooms? Random engine fuckery. Okay, so, then the next question is, if we have pieces that have walls and stuff, we can't have pieces here that have walls. They need to be like connection pieces, like corner pieces or something. Use PCG to generate part of the room, check path. If failed path, check regenerate. If passed, generate next section. Define each cell in an array, then make several patterns by hand in those arrays. PCG has nodes for pathfinding. That could be kind of interesting. This gonna be real chaotic, real quick. Okay, but does PCG work in multiplayer? Yes. What's so crazy is that we're going to be doing so much work to do custom stuff. Like right now, our item spawns are spawned in these predefined volumes. Kind of a problem. I kind of hate this. The predefined volumes thing, kind of shit. I do think this would be one place of improvement. I think the areas where we can keep it are things like the lockers, right? But I do think that's one thing that we can improve upon is item placement. I feel like it's so unnecessary. Okay, first question. This is a question for myself. Do we make it so the randomly generated rooms are in a wider car? Oh, wait, these are the old cars. Wait, where's the new cars? Oh, here they are. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. Oh, I forgot. Because we widened every car, all of these walls haven't been scaled up yet. These are still the small scale because everything is scaled up in engine. Oh, shit. Our content generation workflow is going to be so ass. I wouldn't mind making these train cars that are sort of randomly generated a like different shape that's like wider or something. What's my target FPS? 90 at the very least. Is PCG? I don't think PCG should be like hitting the FPS that hard, right? um I'm trying to think like how do we do so okay. It's time to open up Paint. Wait, actually I can just use Cabin 2 for this. It's time for Paint. Okay, so we've got our train car, and I guess the ideal structure is that it's split in thirds. Right? And then we do tiny squares. I guess the question is this entire train car enclosed with no windows to see outside? Or do we also generate the outside walls? You know, Sky King. Curious, do you go for baked lighting or do you go for lumen slash lumen reflection? Or do you go for lumen and screen space reflection? I don't use lumen at all. So it's a mix of dynamic, it's just a lot of dynamic lighting because we kind of need to use dynamic lighting because power goes out in this game. And some baked lighting here and there where it can be static. So I think it'd be something like this. But then we'd have to say, okay, what about these edges? You could make it more granular with columns of 5 squares. Columns of 5 squares? You mean like these? Oh, vertically 5. But the problem there is then the rooms might become really small. Unless we have odd shaped tiles, but I feel like it'd be so much easier just doing squares. Do you think old GI is more performant than Lumen? I'm right now experimenting around for what to go for. Just baked lighting takes years even with GPU light mass. I don't know, it depends. They both have their pros and cons. They both have their pros and cons. I would think this through carefully, Krim, so you can adapt the system to any cart. Well, remember, this is just for a very specific type of cart. And then, of course, by using the system, we can make different types of cars that are kind of randomly generated. But the idea is, like, we're still going to have the special cars, and then maybe variants of those cars. I guess that would be the idea. But for now, I want to see if we can even make, like, the actual content for this. Do it in a clean way, and then we could figure out if we want to even randomly generate it. I think that would be a good kind of structure. Yeah, the boxes one would be a good one to test in. Okay, so how do we go about doing these edges? Is it a open space? Because if it's an open space, God, it's going to be really annoying to generate these spaces. Or do we just block off the outside with exterior walls and then this just does whatever? Make an XY coordinate system. If X is 0, you can't go left. If Y is 0, you can't go down. Well, the random generation stuff we'll figure out in the future. I think right now I want to kind of generate, or not generate, but I want to create the rooms, or some of the rooms at least, to see if this is even a viable thing that like actually feels fun. I think that would be stage 1. I think that would be stage 1. You know what I mean? Because then we can figure out, oh, is this even like worthwhile investing time into? We would hide the floor because each room would have their own floors. Are the walls destructible? They're not, no. That would make it easier, right? We let the players make the path. That would make things really easy, you know? I think that's the best random generation. I even thought of that for Ronin when I was working on Ronin, and think about like, how do can we procedurally generate buildings? The problem is like, okay, how do we determine if a player can jump from point A to point B? Oh, just give the motherfucker a jetpack or something. We make it so they can no matter what, within reason. Okay. Let's make a new cabin. I'm going to duplicate this one. We will call this Rando Gen Test. We'll call this Rando Gen Test. Here's the idea. The exterior walls are not going to have any windows. That kind of fucking sucks, though. But maybe that makes the player feel, if anything, maybe that's a good thing. It makes the other cars a bit more unique. And they won't know like where they're at. So here's just the outer walls. And then do I have an outer wall on the second floor? Two F outer walls only. 6 meters. So then that way even the upstairs is also randomly generated. And then let's delete these lights. This is also going to be very interesting because we're going to be randomly generating, or not randomly generating, but like determining where the lights are. I don't know how the hell we're going to do that. We're going to say that these types of cars do not have catwalk pathways. So you're forced to go through them. I have no idea how we're going to determine where the fuse boxes are, though. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a problem. Okay, you know what? You know what this might fix, though? Okay, thinking about it, this might force us to determine a system for generating... This might force us to come up with a system for generating where these tasks could be, which might be a good thing. That might be a good thing. By creating this system, we force ourselves to kind of come up with an actual proper way of figuring this stuff out. Which in the end might be good for us. Playtest delayed until next week. Playtest delayed forever. No, I think these will be good changes, though, because right now, whenever the power goes out, I'm always going exactly to where the power is. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of boring. I think that's kind of boring, because I know exactly where things are, and I feel like that's not very fun. So by creating a system that will define points and then generate where it is, I think we improve that part at least, which is determining where things can be randomly generated. At least because the fuse box is a weird one. We can only have one in each train car. Ideally, that's the idea, is we only have one in each train car. So that needs to be like a rule. We can only have one of these in each train car. Okay. These are going to be some big changes, but I think very positive changes. I feel like they'd be very positive changes to make. Okay, so then we don't need a floor because we're going to randomly generate the floor. Because remember, there might be certain cars or sections or tiles that are empty, that don't have anything. So we need the floors to be kind of generated themselves. The ceiling, it's fine. Can keep the roof. I don't know why it has an empty material. Let's just do train, wall. Sure. I still need to fix that. Okay. So now, one thing that's going to have to be very important is we have to keep everything aligned here, which kind of sucks because we lose out on so much space here. What if we gave this a special exterior structure? How can we make the walls... I don't want to move away from that slanted design because I feel like that kind of gives it a unique look, right? Like you kind of... It gives it a unique look, whereas if I make it too boxy, it's going to be kind of... It'll probably look pretty lame. So I think we're forced to do that where we have this section that's kind of empty, which kind of sucks. Oh, that sucks. A lot of balls. Not fun. Not fun. So that basically means if I select the very center here and let's create a plane, and hopefully I can make this work on the please tell me that this is on the grid. Please tell me this is on the grid. We could do 45. It slightly exceeds a bit, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay. All right, the Y. Then we need to do the Y. Ooh, 18 is a bit risky. That might clip into the wall. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So 45 by 18. So 45. So wait. Can you do 45 divided by 6? That would be crazy if we can. 7.5. Fuck. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. $48. I don't think we can extend this. This would have to be 48 to keep it squared. We could do 15 by 45. But then we lose a lot of space again. Playtest delayed until they come up with new numbers. Yeah, we need some new numbers, man. This shit sucks. We need new numbers. Fuck. 7.5. What did we say that it needs to be? 18 by 48? Like, we could in theory do 48, but then it means it wouldn't have a catwalk. It would just be a door. Have you tried number 6 or number 7? Mods, get that man. Put him into a chokehold. If we make it 45 by 18, we could make it so it's 2 tiles, but then that's kind of shit because we lose out on a lot of uniqueness. Whereas having the 3 tiles is probably a lot better. But we could do that because then it would be 9 for the Y, and then 45. I know my 9s. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. But then those tile pieces become very large. Hmm. $42 and then have bigger platforms outside. We could do 42. Yeah, we could. If we divide this by 4, what is it? 18 divided by 4? I think that doesn't work, right? 4.5. Motherfucker. No, ugh. The problem is if we don't... Yeah. I was thinking, oh, we could just stretch everything. Everything just gets stretched at the end. Is that psychotic? No, that's not a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. We generate it as squares, but then we stretch it. A little bit. It'd be only stretched by around 3 meters, right? It would only be stretched by 3 meters. That's no problem. No problem at all. Yeah, I guess we'd have to do 42. If we do 42, so this becomes 2 pieces. 42 divided by 6 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be that many tiles. Which, like, isn't bad. Like, we could always, you know, we could still do 9 as the value. And then if we want to have a car, like if we want to, we could say that this doesn't have to necessarily just be a single room. It could be like multiple areas in one thing, right? This does feel like a really small tile. Does smell? It smells like a very small tile. Maybe we do 9. Actually, maybe we do 9. So it's just 2 rows. And some of the rooms could be like unique. They have like their own like little like multiple rooms in a room. Where's my player character? Come here. Come hither, my friend. Come hither. How do you think of the floor? What do you think of the floor? That's pretty small. That is pretty small. There's not much space to do anything in this tile. I thought about it and I think this shit sucks. Balls. You know what? I think 45 by 18 and divided by 19 by 9 is the way to go. So we just have one little, instead of this, we instead do this. That's not a straight line. We instead do this. And then we have much larger, chunkier pieces to work with. Which means we could make some of these tiles have... They don't necessarily need to be like... That's what I would have did. Are you the fucking assassin guy? Or not the assassin guy, the gangster? that watched GTA or whatever? That's what I would have did. Like in theory, we could make it so it's like some of these are oddly shaped rooms, you know? The only thing is we just have to make sure that... My only problem with this is how do we define entryways? They'd have to be all in the center, I feel like, right? That's the easiest way of doing it. They'd have to all be centered. But then that's kind of boring. Like, what if we want to put one over here? Or put one over here? But then that means we need tile pieces that match up to that specific point. How many leveled instances? If we were to make these all out of level instances, how many leveled instances would it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12. It'd be 12 level instances just for this thing. That's kind of crazy. I don't know. That would be really like pushing the limits of the level instance system that we've been using. Well, hey, no better time to try it than now. You know what I mean? Yep. UE5, how many level instances can you use? I guess you're just okay to use them a bunch. Hey, Balak. He's actually in Blender? Yeah, it's me. I'm in Blender. I'm the Blender guy. I'm the Blender guy. Okay, so we would take this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this should be a square. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. That doesn't look like a square. That looks rectangular. Did I do my numbers wrong? Wait, hold on. Oh, it's 5. Sorry, not 6. So this would be 10 instances. Wait, how did I fuck that up? Oh, because I based it off of... I'm dumb. And stupid. There you go. This is 5. Why am I into Blender? You're not a fruit or a vegetable? You can put more in a blender, you know that? Not just fruit or vegetables. You can put milk, water, seeds. Wall could be double-sided and only on one tile. Don't add a tile with a wall if the other one has one. I was thinking we would still have walls. The only thing is we generate only one door between instances. I saw an Unreal PCG demo where they made every tree a level instance. Okay, so I guess level instances are okay. What thing am I? An idiot for choosing this job. What else am I, Anvar? Listen, man. A doofus. Okay, so here's the idea. We need a I'm gonna save this as a new file. This will be train cabins random gen v1. Am I in the right folder? Yes. So I believe this is the new version. So this will be cabin -2. This should be cabin. How many cabins we got? Cabin -1, cabin -2. This could be cabin -3. I'm okay with that. You will now be cabin -3. Data block renamed to try again to force renaming to cabin. Name and use. The other data block is renamed to cabin -3.0008. Wait, what? Where is there a cabin 3? What the hell? Oh, that was specified in cabin 3, but that's an old thing. Even this is old. We should delete those objects. Do I like sculpting and how good am I at it? It's not my favorite thing in the world. It ain't my favorite thing in the world, that's for sure. I wouldn't say I'm that good at it, though. I would say I'm not very good at it. So we need this to be centered with this. We can invert all of this, delete it. And then what we'll do is we'll add an edge here. So then that way I can go in here. And also go with this piece. which honestly should be mirrored. It is, but also not at the same time. Oh, hey, would you look at that? That's really cool. Are these instances? I think they are. Okay, so now what I have to do is go here, select all of this. Are these two walls different objects? Dude, why? Why? I almost never sculpt anymore, TBH. The types of art styles I've been doing, I don't really sculpt. It's just not something I really do that often anymore. This wall should be, this one's mirrored. That's fine. Although we probably don't want it to be mirrored because we're going to change how this works. So if anything, we just delete that extra detail piece. We really don't need it. I think what would be a good idea is maybe mirroring this. I don't know why it's not. Okay, and then we can figure out the additional details later. So we need to move this and center it to there. So we'll go here, edge, and then center. And now we are centered to the first room. I thought this guy would say I almost never sculpt because I just use AI for that. Do you guys not know who I am? I don't use AI. It's not something I use at all in any of my workflow at all. Not something I use. Not something I plan on ever using. You could say that's a pride thing and an ego thing. You could say that. You could. And I'd be okay with that. You're talking about Phoenix. Oh. Oh. Oh, Golden, how's it going? AI ain't got what I got. True. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, so now we got the piece. We got the main floor piece. Now, this is where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. I think this is where the fun begins. Doing mad, the air quality is really bad where I'm at. Is it because of the fires and stuff, Golden? You getting hit by the fires and whatnot? We could do a kind of wall piece. No, I think we want each piece to have their own unique walls, and then the door connection point would be the connection point between areas. Hold on, I gotta check my email. It's like a couple hours away, but the smoke has been blowing inwards towards the area where I live. God, that sucks. Do you have like an air filter at least to help with the air quality? I think that I hear air filter. Monk, anytime there's the word air filter. Okay, so this would be random gen tile plane. Random gen tile plane. We'll call it rand gen tile plane. I'm just gonna use this as a base to see if the walls can actually generate. What was the dimension of this? 9 meters. I unfortunately do not have any windows or walls that are 9 meters wide. However, that would make this a lot easier. Because I could generate these walls. See, like that kind of clips into... Yeah, that kind of clips into our space. So I think this is the way to go. But then the problem with that is this needs to be guaranteed to have a wall right here. Every single piece here along this edge needs a wall. Which is pretty chaotic when instead maybe we could have the random generation system generate our walls for us. Also, the second floor, we might have to kind of think about how we're going to do the second floor. Oh no. I'm making major progress with my TV and monitor game assets. They could do static, scan lines, small videos with a mission. I have a dinky little air purifier, but that's about it. Well, it's better than nothing, I guess. I think it would be kind of nice. Shit, man. We would need a wall in every single one of these. It's kind of annoying. That's kind of annoying. Anyways, hold on. Let's export this real quick. I love how this entire time I've exported every single model in the models folder. This is getting a little it's getting a little out of hand. It's getting a little out of hand. Make a new folder for this called randgen. Build nanite. No, fuck off. I hate this importer. It's actually so shit. Like, it's just so over the top for no reason. Okay, so what I like about your stream is that you're a little freaky, not just 100% serious dev. What do you mean freaky? What the hell? What the? Freaky? Freaky in what way? Like, I ain't freaky. What do you think this is? A sexual stream? Hell no. I'm extremely composed. I don't know what you're talking about. In a good way? All right, I'll let it slide for now. Oh yeah, dude, this wall on the second floor is gonna clip through the fucking... It's gonna clip through that shit. Uh-oh. I didn't plan that through. Do you think it's a good idea? It's good to give the player the option to hold down left mouse button to fire or spam left mouse button to fire at the same rate? I don't know. Just do what Devil Daggers did. Tapping left click just does a shotgun blast. That has a slight cooldown before you start firing again. Yes, man. Yes. Devil Daggers is so good, dude. Okay, so, uh-oh. This is 100% going to clip the, Wait, guys. It's literally right on the fucking dot. I think we're okay. It's right on the edge. Wait, we might be okay. Past me did this perfectly. Perfectly balanced, like all things should be. Hold on, let's double check. Oh my god. The air purifier is actually helping surprisingly. Well, that's typically its job, is to help out with those kind of situations. Generally, that's at least the idea of what it's supposed to do. Okay. So we laid out the sizes. The door needs to be placed in a different spot. So we need to export this piece as a new piece, which is going to be cabin 3. Hello, it's time for me to import cabin 3. You've seen cabin 1 and cabin 2, but have you seen cabin 3? Where is cabin 3? Guys, where is cabin 3? There it is. It didn't update. Thank you, Windows. Thanks, Windows. Does this use complex collision as simple? It does. That's okay. That's fine. Your file organization folder? What? It's just... What? Everything is in here. Except for these that have unique textures and whatnot. There's a lot in this game. Why does it overwrite all of my materials, man? And then it puts it in the wrong spot. That's that one. Then this is exterior. Okay. I might have stretched a couple of the... some stuff might be a bit stretched. That's okay. Wait, I just used the snap tool? Did that snap perfectly in place? There's no way. That's insane. Holy moly, it did snap in place. That's crazy. Good, Vorval. How am I doing today? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? I like this idea so far. It's proving to be quite fruitful. The only thing is it kind of sucks because we don't have any windows. That'd be super sick. I think what we could do is each of these plane pieces are 9 by 9. We could make unique wall pieces here. That would allow us to still have a wall here. Right? And then windows and shit. Still have some windows. Working on a game while having you on the background? Hell yeah, hell yeah. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Okay, so this is where the fun begins. Why is the train the environment? I don't know. Why is your brain empty? I'm seriously. It's a train. I don't know. It's just a train. I'm regretting doing this too. I could have just done a dungeon like all these other train friend slop games, but then that wouldn't be fun, would it? That wouldn't be interesting. Wouldn't be interesting now, would it? Okay, so here is the idea. Here's the idea. Make it a space train? No, but that'd be boring, because then it's just like sci-fi. Which, like, space train could be kind of cool. Like, it could be. You're not wrong. Like, you're not wrong. Space train could be kind of cool. We could do like one of those Star Wars trains where it has like an upper section and a lower section. What's the most iconic thing about trains? The choo-choo. Add it. Don't tell me what to do. We do need to add that though. It'll be probably a thing that the player can use. The players can abuse at some point. Oh, I opened the wrong thing. Okay. So now we just got to figure out how do we generate these walls. Let's make a side wall. This could also be the way that we determine the height of all of these pieces. So is that too tall? Where's my guy? Where does he go? Where did he go? Did I delete him? Because I'm pretty sure I brought him over here. That seems tall enough. I think we could. I think we can make do with that height. I want to show it. It might be too weeb, and then I get bullied. Eh, whatever. Fuck it, man. Phoenix, get in. Get. Throw it in. Throw it in. Let's see it. So we do want the walls to have thickness. That would make it easier for us. Actually, do we want them to have thickness? Actually, wait. The outer walls do not need thickness. Actually, wait, no, wait, hold on. The wall, oh, the floor pieces need, they need padding. They need padding. They need to be slightly smaller, so then the connection points or the corridor points. Yeah. Because otherwise, if I use this piece and then I do this, now the wall is clipping. It doesn't have enough space for thickness. Did you see the new Suit for Hire's all levels world record a month ago? I think I saw a little bit of it. It was like 1 hour, 7 minutes. 1 hour, 8 minutes. One hour, 1 minute. Oh my God. Was that a month ago? Okay, so actually, dude, why are the months passing by so quickly? Can we, we're gonna slow it down a little bit. Okay, so from what I'm understanding, we actually want these pieces to have a bit of padding. And the reasoning for that is because of the corridor connections. Like we decided that this was a good height. How much money did I use on assets for Suit for Hire? I don't remember. I made a bunch of stuff myself too. Like if we were thinking of sound effects, art, etc. I don't know. Maybe like 5 to 10. $5 to $10 or something. So then the idea here, am I still making money from it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is our padding. This will become our padding, which I think actually placing the origin in the center is the way to go. That way rotations can be very easy. Do you think you could theoretically build an entire 3D level with full free aim and movement out of just 2D assets? Entire 3D level out of just 2D assets? Maybe? I don't know what you mean by 2D assets though. The game I'm working on is like medieval style. I luckily have so many answers to that from the free for the month over the years. Yeah, medieval seems to be a pretty common subject for things. Like Cult of the Lamb's 2.5D, but without a locked camera. I don't know. I guess it could probably be done. I guess. I don't know. It's. I'm sure it could be done. So let's try to make an enclosed space. This is an entirely enclosed space. Now we need to make the doorway. And ideally, the doorway should, I guess, be the exact same size as this one. So I guess something like this. And then we can invert and delete the rest. So you made about $2.5 million from it? Where did you get that number from? $3,100 review times $12. That's not how that works. That ain't how that works. A lot of people get the game on sale. Then you have to remember that the price is different based on the region, amongst other factors. This would be tile T. We'll call this T connection as a test. $3,100 times $12 is only $37,000, by the way. I knew something was wrong with the math. There was all kinds of fucked up with that math. Taxes, yep. Yep, taxes will get you. Taxes will 100% get you. Shall I get a Cornetto or a Magnum? Is this, are these like condom companies? What is this? What are we talking about here? Talk about ice cream. Oh yeah, Magnum is an ice cream. I forgot. I did forget about that. That's true. That's true. That is true. Dude, what? Even if you duplicate this, it doesn't duplicate the children? Oh, that fucking sucks. Cornetto condom is a wild thought. Duplicate children. Morty. So I want to see if we take this piece and I bring it over here, I rotate it. Does that connect the doorways? Yes. Okay. All good. I could see these rooms getting really boring though, so it's going to be very you have to be very careful. Check the Steam page, section 9. That sounds familiar. Section 9. Yes. Yeah, this game looks sick. This game looks so awesome. Although I think there was a demo and apparently the gameplay was okay. I think, unless it was a different game, but I want to say it was this game. Could be wrong. It was a different game. Can I post a link to my game launcher? Free games? No. No, I don't think so. I love some viruses right now. Grim, should make a room with a hole in the ground and players can fall to the tracks and die. I thought about that. It's just the problem is like I don't know where I think the train, these wheels are literally right in the way. Which is kind of annoying. But I do want some holes for sure. We gotta have some falling. We gotta have some fall jokes. Listen, it ain't a Friendslav game without a fall joke, you know. That does actually give more space for the wall to be spawned in, actually. Still kind of shit, though. Finally finished writing the prologue of my game. Feels good, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think we could definitely do odd-shaped tile pieces. I think we could do... I think we could do that. I think we can 100% do that. It's just we'd have to be careful in the generative system. We'd have to say, hey, these are now occupied tiles, right? Think of it like a Tarkov style inventory. Like if these pieces are taken up, then it just needs to say, hey, this index, and this one are occupied. And then that way, I think we can make a lot more interesting sized rooms. Because like this little cube room, like what the fuck am I gonna do in here? What am I gonna do in here? The doors are centered. What am I gonna do? Shit. You walk into a room and this is the shit you see. What do you do? Do I have a maintenance wagon? Not really. Not really. Okay, let's just make some more pieces then. Here's the really annoying thing. No, we can make a straight piece. No, we can make a straight piece. Why is this? Okay, this piece is really annoying. Randeni, how's it going? I think we can take these pieces and move it somewhere else. We can probably work with this in a different space now. In fact, I think we could move it to a different collection. And then if we need the reference, we can bring it over here again. This one, I want to move you to random generation. A classic YouTube Shorts. I love Henry's Kitchen so much, dude. Oh, Henry. Henry's so good, dude. I need some modeling music. What's some modeling music we could do here? Some modeling music. Little Big Planet? I need some modeling music. All right, I'm in. Okay, this will be the straight piece. Okay, where are these pieces? Okay. Tcon straight. This would just be a straight. And then we can delete this. And then we can just take this wall and I can duplicate it and rotate it. And then this, I can then export. And then import. And then I also need the T connection as well. So import both of these. So now we have a straight connection that is connected to the outside. And then let's just do a quick UV unwrap on all these. Cube projection. I be doing that cube projection for yes. Grids. I love grids. They're my favorite. They're my favorite. So then this could be another T connection point. But then it goes in here. And we could say this could become a dead end. Yeah. Okay, so then how do you select children? Shift G? I'm not gonna remember that. I'm definitely not remember. What the fuck? Wait, it selected the children, but then it deselected the Is this for procedurally generating cabins? Yes. The idea is we'll have some cars that are, I guess, randomly generated. They'll like have randomly generated rooms. I don't know if this is going to be a solution for some of the gameplay in certain areas or not, but we'll see. We'll see. This could be, I could be making a big mistake. Who knows? This will be corner. Do I live on a train? Do the players live on a train? Is that what you're trying to ask? No, in real life. What do you think? I'll let you guess that. What do you think? What do we call this piece? It's not a corner. It's a one way, a dead end. You know, Faith. Okay, so one annoying process in the very beginning, we have to keep going to this folder to re-import new stuff. That's okay. It's not a huge deal. It's fine. Uh-oh. Oh my god, that is so close to the inside of this. We also need to specify all of the collision types for these. Oh, bulk edit. You in Faith? Oh, these also need ceilings. Oh shit, I didn't think of that. The hell? Why is there an item in here? Wait, it didn't add it to my inventory? What the fuck is going on? All right. Why was that walkie-talkie there? Oh, because there's an item spawn there. Dummy. Okay, so here's the idea. So we have all of these big pieces. I think it would be really interesting having rooms that encompass more than just one tile space. I think we'll be able to create some really interesting stuff with that. Yeah, I think we'll be able to make some really interesting stuff with that. Hey, Zahib, how's it going? So I'm curious. We have, I think, every connection you would want. A straight piece, a T piece. We don't have a four-way connection, which the only place I don't think four-way connection is even possible with this grid. I don't think four-way connection is possible. At all, actually. We should make a straight piece that's like just a hallway with like walls tightened. Yes. So we take these two pieces, we'll scale it in. So it's literally just a hallway. That's sick. Yes. This is straight tight. Straight tight. Yes. Straight tight. We can also do a tight corner. Okay, export that one. Yeah, doing good, Zahib. How are you? What have you been up to? Oh. My like forearm muscle is like hurting. Playing games, working on my own tiny tower defense project, and just being lazy. Put in an hour right now on the tower defense project. Come on, come on. This is your time to shine. So this will be interesting because it creates a tight hallway. I need to change my like default import settings because all of these are going to import without complex collision, and we need complex collision right now. You know what I also need? A ceiling. All of these need a ceiling. I actually do my dev work every time, whenever I join your chat. Need some inspiration of other devs working on their stuff. Makes me feel bad otherwise. Hey, hell yeah. What is a sussy baka? If you gotta ask, you might be a sussy baka. Can't help you with that one. Hold on, I'm trying to stretch a little bit. My like arm is really hurting. Like we could say this tile piece is currently invalid. It doesn't exist. So then in here we could do the T connection. Here it could be just a straight tight piece. Yes, dude, straight to the exterior. Oh, dude, hell yeah. And then over here we could do a dead end. Or actually we could do a corner piece. And then this would be a dead end. So this would be kind of the gist of how this would work, I guess. Only thing that kind of sucks is you never see the outside because of the way this is structured. Which is kind of a bummer. Kind of a bummer. Because that would be really cool to still be able to like use window pieces in here. However, if we use this piece, wall piece, we lose a lot of like real estate. So I'd have to make like unique wall pieces for these outside areas. Oh, ah. In a moon. How we doing? Not too bad, man. How are you? So here is the next piece of the puzzle. So we got these randomly generated rooms. We could turn these all as level instances, which then means they could all have their own little blueprints. Right? I want to see if this even is fun to play around with. So let's just treat this almost like this is just our own little tool for creating like rooms. And then we can figure out some other stuff later. So let's slap some lights. Let's get some lights and let's bring it into that level. Now you're probably wondering, how is pathfinding going to build anything in here? Well, I don't know, because Apparently it's not working. Never mind, I'm just kidding. I forgot to turn it on. It would appear I forgot to turn it on. I do think this room right here would be a perfect example, though, of a long piece. Anyways, let's see how this could work. I think it'd be cool having some rooms with no lights. Also because, well, light overlap. Ouchie. Then we need to gather relevant actors. And then we have to generate mob spawn points. Uh-oh. It would appear there's some outside. That's not very good. I don't know why it's using those spaces as spawn points. We might need to expand upon this system a little bit more, especially if we do any sort of random generation. We need this to be able to work in runtime. Okay. In the room without a light could be a terrifying robot. Well, that's the nice thing about emergent gameplay, is that by deciding to not put a light in there, we do make the players, I guess, tense in this specific room. Because anything could be in there. Speaking of forgetting to turn on, remember the first year I worked in the industry, I couldn't find the pivot point in Unreal, so I had to ask a senior to help me, and I just had to press G. You know, it's a great thing in Unreal. When you switch between levels, there's moments where the gizmo doesn't even show up when you select something, so you have to hit G twice. Like, it just won't appear. So you have to, like, click it twice. Enable and disable it. Even though you're in the right mode. You're in the right mode, it just doesn't care. It hates you. All right, let's put this fucker in the train generative queue and see how it looks. Okay, put it in the queue. Put it in the train queue. I think it's here. I feel like we should use a different system to determine what the... Wait, no, it's an array. Cabin types. Random generation test. What the hell was that other one? Random editor paths grandparent. What? What? Some item spawns are in invalid spots. Of course they are. We have to also determine item spawns as being a different system. Also, we need to put some doorways in between these areas. All right, let's see if this can spawn. We'll know when it spawns when we see the door in a weird spot. And also if it appears in the list at all. Oh, there it is. let's see what this looks like. Oh, it's kind of weird. Oh. Oh yeah, guys, I think this is awesome. Guys, I think this is awesome. I have a boot. Guys, I think this could work. This could be very good, actually. This could be very good. God, I wish there was more tiles, though, man. Oh, I wish we could have more tiles. Like, we can definitely make it have more tiles by creating, like, the 2 long pieces and then maybe, like, adding more rooms and more separations and whatnot. Like, we could definitely do that. Do I use any physics for the door or just pure math? It's all physics. It's all just physics. It's physics-based. I want to see what it looks like when we break the lights in here. I can't see a fucking thing. It's actually just pitch black. I think it's because there's no textures. Cool. I think this could really work, actually. This could really work, I think. It breaks up the monotony of the, Of course, though, we're gonna have to randomly generate the maintenance tasks, though. Like, where those appear. Remo, what's the idea behind this? So right now I'm just using it as a test for level design. But the idea is some of these cars could be completely randomly generated using like tile sets. Kind of, it's kind of wave function collapse. But very basic, I would say. And that means cars could be like randomly generated, almost like a grid. My only problem with them right now is that you don't have any... I kind of wish they still had windows to look outside. I feel like it would be cool to still have that element where we could, like, look outside of the train. But basically, it's just one big grid space. And we can break up a lot of the monotony of it being grids by, like, having special sized pieces. And even just the tight corridor ones are really fun. Could have some tight corridor corner pieces. Yeah, I kind of wish we still had a connection point to the, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I kind of wish we could still have a connection window. To the other stuff. You can still navigate around here if you don't have a light. You just gotta be careful for the landmines. Just gotta be careful for the landmines. That would be not good. So yeah, that's the idea with this car. Which I think... if this can go... if we can make this really interesting... I do think this should be the most common type of car. Maybe skylights instead of windows. We could do skylights, but then it would have to be on the second floor. Right? Because technically this is a ceiling. Are you playing any games as of late? If so, which ones? Just old school RuneScape mostly. Sometimes Deadlock. If I'm in a good mental space to do so. Just old school RuneScape, to be honest. Yeah, I think some windows would be super sick. The only problem is how do we integrate that into this? Okay, one thing we can kind of do is we can kind of cheat it. Kind of. On this side, you would be able to see where, if there's a window or not. Been doing a lot of OSRS as well lately. I feel like they're adding in some really good stuff, content-wise and whatnot. Yeah, I really like this. I really like this idea. This is actually like this little experiment. Very good. There it happened. I had to double click G. I had to double click G just to see my gizmo. Started an Iron Man. That's been pretty fun. I'm playing on my main and a group Iron Man. Have you felt any burnout during the making of this game so far? No burnout, but I think there's design challenges, which are very daunting. So I think the design challenges are a tough one, but I wouldn't really consider it as burnout. It's more so like, it's a challenge. I gotta figure out like, it's like trying to solve a puzzle that you're stuck on. Am I scared of Choo Choo Charles? Why would I be? Why would I be scared of Choo Choo Charles? Yeah, I do. I want to implement Windows. I just don't know how we do it properly. The grid would have to interact with the exterior walls. Or something. We would need special, like, grid pieces for the exterior. You know what is really interesting, though? This could be a good, this could be a very good introduction into those fake large-scale train cars. This corridor could be like the portal into... this could literally be the portal into, like, a different level. The train is static, so the train stays still. It's just the is the exterior, because the players don't really play on the outside of the train while the train is moving. So the train is just static. It's just a lot easier to manage everything because most of the gameplay happens on the train anyways. For the windows, could you add an RTS camera to see outside? Like a fake window kind of thing? Like, we could. I think it might just be better... Yeah, I think it'd be better to just make a unique set of walls, exterior walls, that are specific to the grid size of the actual wall, and then each of these would be based off of 2, 3, 4, 5. It's already kind of set to the space of this, actually, funny enough. What's the dimensions of this? 900? What's the dimensions of this? 600. But it's scaled by 1.5, which is 900. Jeez, what is going on? I need a different playlist. Game done? Nope. Not yet. Game not done. We've come up with a kind of random generation grid system, which I think feels pretty fun. It feels pretty fun. I'm curious though. Gonna be a billionaire like Elon Musk when the game releases? I don't think so. Well, we'll see when the game releases. Definitely not a billionaire. Are there any game devs that have become a billionaire? Like, I don't even think Stardew Valley has made $1 billion. Like, I mean, like a solo dev. Notch? Oh, I guess that is probably that's probably the only one that I could think of. That is probably the only one, actually. Yeah, but he's a jackass, so so that doesn't count. Millions for sure. The schedule one. Well, yeah, Millions is a pretty common one. Rare. Common and yeah, you know what I mean. Tim Sweeney. I wouldn't say Tim Sweeney's a solo dev. I'm talking about like solo devs, like kind of solo devs. I love when Notch weighed in on a discussion about shaders and everything was like, "What do you know?" Ooh, that's some ego right there. Mecha Chameleon recently must have earned like 300 million or something. They sold like 3 million copies. Does the game cost $100? I'm doing my quick maths in my head real quick. Math is hard, I guess. Can't remember. Ah, yes, Minecraft, the game that has extremely in-depth shaders. Yes, of course. Ah, yes, of course. Ah, you mean the trees that just have a mask material and it's just a square. Ah, yes, the masked material, of course. What about the Undertale guy? I don't know. Who gives a fuck about making billions of dollars? Listen, you just need like a little bit, and then buy a house. And that's it. That's it. Game over. It's game. The game has been won. Like, do I really need billions of dollars? No. I feel like you get to a certain point where like, do you really need like that much money? Like, what are you gonna? I don't even know what you. I can't even think of like what you would do with that money. You pay off everybody's debts in your family and friends, and then buy a house, a car or two. I don't know. What are you gonna do with a fucking billion? 1 million is enough. Not here in Canada. 1 million's not even enough to buy like a okay-ish, modern-ish house. Can't even buy a sports team with that. Ah, shit. I wouldn't even buy a car if I earned 50 million. Honestly, I've been thinking more about like the whole concept of buying a Porsche, and I think it's kind of just like, it just seems like more like a headache than anything. Listen, just give me a Mazda 3 hatchback. I'm good. I'm good. Slap a turbo in that fucker. Then we're good. We're good. I don't need a fucking Porsche. Sounds like a headache. Yeah, with maintenance and then like the fear of theft, insurance. Sounds like ass. It sounds like a whole lot of hoopla to me. I don't know about you, but it sounds like a bunch of hoopla. Okay, so here's the idea. We want a long piece. So that piece, what I'll do is I'll duplicate this. This will become the size reference. Been called by fucking spam again. From Iowa. I'm being called from Iowa. Maybe they need some help with their data center problem that they got going on over there. I can help. Got a Molotov? I can help with that. You got a Molotov? Hey, your Porsche's arrived? Huh? What? All right, so this is a double, but how do we define this? How do we name this? Because it can't just be corner double. If you got 50 million maintenance on a car, does pocket change? I don't know. I feel like it just racks up, though. It just feels like such a headache. It just feels like such a headache to buy a car like that. Like, I don't know. I've been thinking about it more. I'm like, doesn't sound interesting, buying a car like that. I don't know. It's a cool idea on paper, but then you actually start like thinking about it and you're like, damn, that sucks. So this could be corner extended, I guess. Don't save. What did I do the UV unwrap as? I think 4? Cube size 4? Cube size 4. Okay, let me see if I can actually change the default collision import in here. Um, Really? So you have all this bullshit and random shit in here, but you can't even give me the option to set the collision type? Come on. Come on. If you can afford it, the service is insane. They gave me a 100K Mercedes while my car was in the shop. What the hell? Whenever I think of Mercedes or BMW, I just think about how the fact that they're charging a subscription to use your heated seats. And then it makes me really turned off from those types of cars. I bought a new car 3 years ago, no maintenance yet, luckily. Brother, you don't get an oil change or anything? Like, you're supposed to change your oil. When I start a new UV project, do you have some prototype assets that you utilize or just make some... I got an electric. Do electric... I guess electrics... No, an electric would still need oil, right? There's still moving pieces. You would still need oil for that. I think. No, Tesla only needs tire rotations. What? Not engine oil. No, not engine oil, but I mean like lubricant oil for like the, like, you need a, or you need isn't there brake fluid? There's brake fluid, then there's engine oil, but you wouldn't need engine oil there. But then wouldn't you still need oil? Aren't some of the other parts oiled up? You never change your brake fluid. You don't need to change your brake fluid? Huh. You would need windscreen wiper fluid. That's true. That's true. You would need that. Uh-huh. Yep. That's going to cost you $200. Do trains need brake fluid? I don't know. I'm not a fucking engineer. Guys, look at me. Look at what I do. I'm not an engineer. I've been watching some... I've been watching tons of videos on people fixing up cars, but a lot of the information doesn't go through my brain properly. Be real. You've watched a YouTube video and you probably don't remember 90% of what you watched too. Get real. Oh, fuck. See? I fucked up. The corner piece is in the wrong direction. Could we scale it by -1? And then, yes, man. Oh, dude. Uh-oh. You ever see that kid who's super stoked about trains and films his reaction as they pass by? That sounds very familiar. I probably have seen that video. So you guys are telling me that for an electric car, you don't need any oil at all? Like, you don't need to lubricate, like... Okay, when it comes to any car, non-electric as well, just a normal motor vehicle, is there no oil required to lubricate other parts of the vehicle, such as... what's the... Okay, so you guys know how, like, a car is like this, and like this? Isn't there this, like, little piece here that goes, like, and it looks like a little square kind of piece? Is there no, like... oil required for that? Yeah, there's the transmission, but the transmission needs lubricant as well. I guess you don't need it doesn't need like oil though. Electric cars don't have that. Man, what the fuck are these fake ass cars? These cars aren't even cars. It's literally the type of shit I had in fucking elementary school where you have like a little remote and you go like that thing doesn't even do anything. It's like it's literally an RC car. It's literally that. Ban electric cars. Ban electric cars. Here's my take. Ban electric cars. We need to ban electric cars. They're not real. They're fake. It's not even real. They literally just have a battery on the floor and 4 wheels. God, and then a stupid, like, iPad at the front of the car. God, it's fucking stupid. It's so dumb. Huge, humongous tablet. Yeah, I watched the new Spider-Man on the front of my car. Whatever. Hey, don't talk shit about my car. All right, anyways, let's give some temporary materials for these. Check on the Tesla service site before you spout incorrectness. Whatever, man. Sugma. Are these all of our walls? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. What really worries me is self-driving is a box of Pandora. That shit's not good. Not good. Not good. IMO. Very little to no maintenance with the Teslas. Until an accident happens, which, you know, God forbid it happens, but let's be real. Have you seen some of these fucking drivers on the road? Have you seen some of these motherfuckers on the road? They are crazy. Is that perfectly on the grid? Wait. Oh my god, it is. Damn, I'm good. So these need 2 materials, floor and ceiling. Okay, guess I'm making it myself. So the ceiling needs to be specified. Wait. Do that, link materials, and then we need to select all of the verts on the top and assign it to ceiling, and then we re-export everything. And then I re-import everything. I don't know shit about cars. I just got tests on the car every like 3 years here in Norway to have them road legal. Exterior, no panels. What the fuck? Oh, that's for the doors. Okay. And I don't remember what this door material... Oh, it's exterior, no panels. Okay, so those are the door frames. Then we need the walls. Is this the wall? That's the floor. Is this the wall? That's the ceiling. This has to be the wall. Aha! Okay, we got the walls. Now we need the floors. Which I think is this one. I think. Whoa! So the floors could be, I don't know, floor. Test mat floor. Yeah, why not? Or, ooh, no, not that one. Train floor. Why do you look, whatever, fine. No, you do this one. And then we need the ceiling, and then the ceiling could be the, train trim. I don't know what that is. Train floor. What if the top is No, I don't think I like that. How about the exterior? No, I don't like that. That's not good. How about this one? Main train? That's the one, baby. That's the one. That's the ticket. Yeah, I'm not going to act like I know about cars. Listen, they got 4 wheels, they got a thing, they got engine, they got a thing. I don't know. Currently building my own game engine and watching you build is so motivating. Hey, hell yeah. You got this. Please generate the random generation test. Yes. Also, because it's in the back of the train, it might spawn some monsters in there. We're going to see if the monsters can properly work in there. Taking my gas, I'm taking my oil to my car so I can oil up my electric car. Oh yeah. Oh yes, man. Yes, man. Yes, man. Uh-oh. Yes, man. Don't forget to top up the blinker fluid. You got me. You got me. See, look at this. Now we got a big room. We can do whatever the fuck we want with this room. Yeah! So sick. Except for the fact that it's a corner piece. And we had to scale it by -1. Not so good. It would appear the door frame is moving up and down. It would also appear that we have some moonlight coming in here. Well, I still think it'd be awesome to see some connection points to see the outside of the train. Or maybe that's part of the scary factor of this, is like you literally don't know where you are in the train. Whoops. Cool. I like this. This is awesome. This is the backrooms car. This is the dungeon car. One problem, we might have to lower the ceiling. Do we? Because what if we want a second floor? Grim, hear me out. A car with evolving layouts? What do you mean by evolving layouts? Ideally, what we do is we have enough pieces to create some sort of like wave function collapse or some sort of grid generation system that would generate all of these cars for us. Oh, like, oh, you mean like that? Creating the fake kind of like you're getting lost kind of vibe? Yeah, all right. Is that my voice? I actually don't remember if that one's my voice. I think it is my voice. I want to see what it looks like if the monster comes in here. Hear me out. Mirrored cabinet. Imagine two players getting confused in there. What would be in a mirrored cabinet? Is that like a portal? A doorway? So what is a mirror maze? Because I don't understand, like, how would it be structured? Like a mirror maze? It like is like one person on the top and the other person's mirrored right below them or something? Oh, you mean like the mazes with... Yeah, I don't think we could do that. I don't think that you could, like, do that in a video. I have no idea how you would go about doing that in a video game. I have no clue how you would even render that. I got a random video recommendation from that video though. It says 1 hour of silence, occasionally broken up by Michael Jackson sounds. Yeah, that's a video. It has 740,000 views. Separate cameras rendered to texture. Yeah, it just seems like a lot of work, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Listen, it sounds like a great idea, but it also sounds like a lot of work. Are you? How did you get in here? You're not even a task in here. Get out of here. Get out of here! Excessive mechanical faults. $6 banana. $2 glowing stick. Do I not have the money for this? What? We should probably have a UI that appears when you're inside of here that shows your money at all times, because I don't know how much money I have. Imagine a room like this. What's this? Mirror room in Unreal. Oh, it's because it's using ray trace reflections. I see. Costs 40 FPS. A solid 40 FPS. All right, cool. I like the random generation tile room. I think it's sick. It's awesome. I don't know if any of them spawned in here. They did not. Somehow train instance level is invalid. Wait, did we spawn enough train cars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh. Yeah, I like the direction of the random generation car. I think there is actually some very good potential there. Very good potential there, I think. Making the system for it is going to be a little bit chaotic. And also all of the necessary tile pieces. Okay. And then figuring out how to put the furniture, like the stuff inside of here, is going to be a bit interesting as well. Oh hey, good thing it seems like the monsters can spawn in here. And the rats. That's good.
I am the rat. Rat.
All right. What does it look like when a monster's in here? Well, you can still kind of see.
Rat. I am the rat.
The door closed on me.
Rat.
That's crazy. Okay, cool. Cool. Dude, the random generation car, I think, has a lot of potential. Or, well, kind of random generation. Like, if anything, we could always still hand place these, but just create a bunch of variants of them. But I think it being randomly generated, I feel like, is the appeal. I don't know. I don't know how I would generate them. I'm gonna be honest. I also don't know how I would make it so you could go from point A to point B. Like, for example, technically, this car is kind of boring because it's one straight path. So what would be better is... something like this. Corner piece. And then this becomes a corner piece. Right? You just need a solver to work out a path from A to B? Yeah, I just don't know how to do that. Admittedly, I just don't know how to do anything like that yet. Don't know how to do that, but maybe one day. Okay, so I feel like this is so much more interesting because now you have to go through here to go here. This is supposed to be, I think, a corner piece, not a T connection. I think this would be a cool thing to create a small hallway corner piece. So we talked about that earlier. So we'll do this. We'll connect this here. And then 90 degrees. And then I gotta move this here. What if I generate along a spline point? I don't know how that would work. I don't know how that would work. I don't know how that would work. Select the walls real quick. Unwrap, cube projection, size 4, should be the correct size. Spline could be for the A and B data. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Yeah, we'll figure out something. I think what could be really cool as well is we start implementing the second floor, and we could say that you have to go up to then go down to then get to the other side. Like that could be kind of cool. I do have to be careful with that though, because we do kind of make it really hard to go from one train car to the other train car that might be needed to repair something. So we do have to be, and that could be really frustrating. That could be really frustrating. Five push-ups? Okay, fine, fine, fine. So be it, fine, so be it, fine, so be it. Fine. Meanies. Jeez. Ugh. All the way down, sir? Brother, I was all the way down. Don't tell me what to do. This motherfucker. I was all the way down. Whatever, who cares about beveling this room? Just keep it sharp, man. Whatever. Okay, this is corner tight. I should probably rotate this in a way where it keeps the same directions as the other corner. Which currently it's opposite. Whereas this would be the correct version. Okay, so corner tight, export this one. Very cool. Very cool. So now this could be corner tight, and it can use the wrong materials. Aha. I don't know why the sorting is different. Dude, are you for real? These for some reason have interior applied to them. Why are the elements in a different order? Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's really annoying. I can tell you what to do in 4 minutes. Mods, get that man. Okay, I think this is cool. I'm a little worried that it's going to take a lot of time for players to get through this area to try to reach the other side of the train. So I think that is something we want to be careful with. We don't want to overdo it a little bit, like too much, I think, because then that might get kind of annoying. Do gotta be careful. I think the electrical could be in this big long room. I think that'll look kind of sick. They have a little hour on a train. They need to get stuck sometimes. No, it's not an hour. It's like 12 minutes. It's like 12 minutes. The halls should be dark. These little dark these hallways here, you think? If you're first Crimson, who's second Crimson? Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Damn, it's at the back of the train. Whatever, fine. So be it. Okay, technically, they only have like 12 minutes on the train. Am I regenerating the car orders after each station? Yes, yeah. Basically randomizes at every station. Progressively spawns in harder types. I thought that was a bomb. It's actually just a beach ball. Ball! 5 push-ups, huh? Kind of hurts. My elbow hurts a little bit.
I am the rat.
Uh-oh. I ran out of stamina. I can't do anything. Are you for real? This car is great. It's just my only problem is like having to run through it just to get to any tasks are probably going to be quite annoying. You want some friction? Yes, friction. You gotta make some shit annoying? I guess, yeah. I was hoping it would just keep bouncing up and down. But I guess that's not how physics works. This is how you keep the office alive. Throw a beach ball in there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Look, all of the shit's at the back of the train. This is fucked up. Is this 1 or 2? I literally don't know. Whatever. Why is there a bunch of numbers appearing? What happened? Oh, someone's stuck on an item. There's 2 rats stuck in a plunger. 2 rats, 1 plunger. Oh, oh, that's kind of... Oh! Help! I can't get out! What the hell? That's not the train. That's not the other way, the other way! Oh! Ring! Okay, that... The randomly generated tile car is very good. I think it's actually it's incredibly good, actually. Actually, it's too good, actually. Did I get taxed so hard that, like, I don't have any more money? Yep, I was in negative $9. I was in debt. We were in debt, actually. Keep that in. I'm down to keep a debt mechanic in. I think that's fun. All right, good stream. I'm gonna work on this a little bit more off stream, actually. I gotta do some, like, business stuff though. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Yeah. Yeah. Game's looking like a game now? Well, I wouldn't say we were that far yet, but it did help having that randomly generated area. So I think that might be one big piece of the puzzle, is some of the cars just feel like the exploration aspect is a very important part. I think the next thing is making the maintenance tasks more interesting. I think that'll be a huge endeavor as well. So, yeah, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for lurking, chat, and sticking around. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Take it easy. Goodbye.